Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Slaying Hope, and I got another video for y'all. In this video, I want to talk about what does it actually mean to have strength, to be strong, right? Because a lot of times in our communities, we have like this messed up ideology of what it means to be strong or tough or gangster or like that, whatever they running around with, whatever phrase they want to use for it, right? But before I get into the video, make sure you click in the link below. The description in the below, right? There's a link to my book, Who Profits When Black Men Gangbang. It's also a link to a documentary that I'm in, We Came to Heal. Oftentimes, this is something that is very important and is needed in our communities. A lot of us are suffering. A lot of us got trauma. A lot of us got PTSD, hurt, pain. And we need to be the ones to be able to restore ourselves, right? It's not going to come from outside of ourselves. We have to put in the work, especially once we know that we have a problem. So anyway, let's get back into the video. So this might not be the circumstance of a lot of people that watch my channel, but if it is, growing up in the communities we grew up in, poor, ghetto, disenfranchised, oftentimes our men are fed this idea of what it means to be tough, what it means to be a gangster, what it means to be a man, right? Connected to these false notions of masculinity. And one of the things that is kind of like praised or is viewed as a cool thing is being a crash out dummy, right? And my thing is like, since when has it been cool to be a crash out dummy? Since when has it been cool to die over New York City Housing Authority buildings, aka the projects? Since when has it been cool to go to jail for like the block that's just gonna move on after you're away, and you the one that's suffering and your family's the ones that's suffering? Since when has it been cool? It's not your block. We don't even own property. We don't own land. We barely be owning our cars. Like we like, how is it our block? But it's been made to seem cool, right? And like the younger people, we just be passing this thing down, and the younger people are running with the baton like, I'm a crash out, I'm a dumb out, I'm a demon. I'm ready to go to jail. I'm ready, and they don't even understand the implications of like, when you start to think better, when you start to become a young man, when you start to rationalize on the decisions that you made, sometimes it's too late for certain things, right? Sometimes you rack up charges, you rack up felonies, and then all your rights are not even fully restored. In some states, you can't even vote when you got a felony. It don't matter. You can't even own a weapon. You can't get certain licenses. You can't practice certain things, right? And this is the implications as you get older, that is going to be connected to your younger life. But I know we're not thinking about it right now. It's cool. One day you will remember this conversation if you choose to ignore it and not change course. It's also sad that a lot of us had to go to prison to actually really have father figures. It's crazy. It's crazy that a lot of us didn't really have no real role models or father figures while we was in the street. But then once we was locked up, we was shacked up with a bunkie that maybe was older than us, right? And you would be lucky if you didn't have a bunkie that was a booty bandit, right? Or was scheming on that booty that did a lot of time. So it's like, it is rare to find an older brother in the belly of the beast, what we like to call prison, that actually take you under his wing and be like, yo, let me teach you something, man. Let me give you some pointers. Let me give you some tips. And a lot of times, these was brothers that might never be going home, that they just felt like they needed to give back to the different people that they encounter, the younger people that they encounter, right? Because I encounter a lot of dudes that had like 40 years, 50 years, life, never coming home. But they made it their business to try to like influence people and try to teach them certain things. So back to this crash out stuff. A lot of times we think that it is, you know how easy it is to go punch somebody in the face when you feel disrespected? Do you know how easy it is to cause physical harm to somebody? That's easy. That don't take nothing. It's way much harder to walk away from a situation than to actually engage and add fuel to the fire and get into something. I'm telling you. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the strong amongst you, and this don't got to be about Islam, right? Just listen to the wisdom. He said, the strong amongst you is not the one who can overcome people with his strength. He said, the strong amongst you is the one who can control himself when he's angry. Let me say that again. Sometimes repetition works. He said, the strong amongst you is not the one who can overcome people with his strength. He said, the strong amongst you is the one who can control himself when he's angry. What a beautiful narration. That's one of my favorite hadith. How many people do we see? How many brothers do we see? They can't get into a verbal back and forth because they're quick. They're quick to throw the hands. They're quick to pull out the gun. They're quick to pull out the knife. They're quick to get verbally disrespectful. This applies to sisters too, but I want to focus on the brothers. How many times do we see people in our community? They can't get into a verbal altercation because it leads to action, and usually detrimental action. That is not control. That is not strength. We've been lied to, bro. We've been bamboozled. We've been bamboozled by whether the men in our communities, right? Due to lack of not having our fathers around and listening to other men in the community that is just trying to recruit us to be part of their destructive cycle of joining gangs and street movements that don't benefit us or the community at all. And anybody that wants to say that gang started for something positive, I need you to present your facts, because y'all be lying to these young people. Y'all be lying to these young people. Present to me facts. Show me how many laundromats gangbangers have done. Show me how many people gangbangers have employed in the community. Show me how many communities they actually made safe. Show me how many movements they actually led against the state, against the police that was coming in our neighborhoods and killing us. Show me how many movements, how many times they mobilized against state violence. Show me. Don't just tell me. Don't come here with the fairy tale history. I want you to show me. I want you to show me what gangs have done in our communities that have helped our communities prosper, get jobs, live healthier lifestyles, right? How they have fought against the people who have come into our neighborhood to oppress us. How they have organized against state on a city, state, or federal level. How they have done those things. Show me so you can shut me up. Otherwise, shut up and stop lying to these men. Stop lying to these people. But anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked. How many people in our communities get into things and they don't know how to show restraint? But we talk about the women. We talk about they emotional. We talk about they don't got no logic. We talk about they don't got no control. We talk about they don't take no accountability. And you act just like them. And I know some of y'all gonna get upset and y'all don't want to hear this, but that's the truth. A lot of us act like our mamas and we don't even realize it. All the things that you're saying about women apply to you. You don't have no emotional intelligence. You don't know how to control yourself when you're angry. You don't know how to control your emotions when you are in emotional states. You get triggered easily, right? You get these visceral reactions. Like all of these things, you engage in irrational decision-making situations. All of these things apply to you. All of these things apply to you, but you not looking at yourself. You're always looking outward, which is why we can never get nowhere. We've been lied to, brothers. We've been told that if we sleep with the most women, that makes us men. And then we shame women who do it, when in reality, both people should not be sleeping around. Instant gratification is one of the major causes of why we can't even get together. Instant gratification, porn, right? At some point in time, we only used to meet people outside. We used to meet people. We used to go outside, interact with people. You know, there was a process to get into that gratification. We don't have that anymore. You could just flick the laptop, go to the porn website, and get the instant gratification. So some dudes, they're like, I don't need to go out there and talk to women. I could just masturbate. And this is making you even more socially awkward. The sisters, some of them are satisfied with just getting the likes. We're just getting whatever they get off of social media. Instant gratification, instant attention. The dating apps, they don't help because we think we got all of these options. When you get when some of these sisters get all of these inboxes, even on IG or on whatever social media, instant gratification. The dopamine levels go up. Same thing happened with the brothers in porn. These things are killing us. But I want to stay on the brothers because this video is not about the sisters. But a lot of us been bamboozled. We've been lied to. We've been told if you crash out, you go to jail, you're the man. Well, that's a real nigga right there. Why? You want to be a real nigga, bro? Real niggas get forgotten. They get killed. They get buried alive in prison. But this is what you want to be. There was a saying, if you knew how long people remember you after you die or after you are gone, you wouldn't waste your time trying to prove yourself to other people. I'm going to say that again because like I said, repetition works. If you knew for how long people remember you once you're dead or you're gone or removed out of sight somewhere in the mountains, you wouldn't spend a lot of your energies trying to prove yourself to people. You wouldn't. Y'all care too much about what people got to say about y'all. And this is why a lot of people crash out. This is why a lot of people do stupid stuff because they thinking if I walk away from this situation, they're going to think I'm soft. If I walk away from this situation, they're going to view me a certain way. And then now people going to probably try things. And don't get me wrong, I've been there. And in some situations, you have to do what you got to do. I'm not saying in every situation there's a walk away situation. I'm highlighting how there is too many situations in which we are not contemplating the choices that we gonna make. We just crash out like dummies. That's why they call him a pop-off dummy. They're like it's ingrained in the name, a pop-off dummy. This is why a lot of us get into those situations. We pop off dummies because we don't think, we don't rationalize, right? But we want to talk about the women. We got the same. A lot of the brothers got the same traits as women. You was raised by your mama. You absorb a lot of her energy. You absorb a lot of her character. You absorb a lot of the things that you are around constantly. You know, when you put a shark in a fish tank, a shark can only grow to the extent of his environment. So if the fish tank is small, the shark is not going to grow, but to a certain size. A lot of us are like that. A lot of us living in our communities are a shark in a fish tank. The world is way more bigger, man, than our blocks, than our neighborhoods. I encourage people, if you having issues and you facing some of these things, travel, man. If you got family in different states, go there. Get away, man. Go be around different people, different terrain. If you're in the city and you only hang out in your hood, go to a different hood. See different neighborhoods. As long as it's safe, right? I know sometimes people be into things and it's not safe. But go different places that are safe. Go out of state. Go out the country if you can. The world is way bigger than what we've been trained to think it is, man. Get out that fish tank. Don't be that shark in that fish tank that you can't grow, that you can't develop, that you can't stretch your brain, learn new things. And you got to always remember, the strong is the one who can control himself when he's angry. How many of us, when we get angry, we ready to go? No control. We're not able to think. And I said the story before. I remember one time this dude disrespected me on Rikers Island, right? And I was like, all right, cool. And everybody was looking, everybody was watching. You know, he said something about the Frank stand. You know, he opened up the Frank stand. And everybody was watching, everybody was looking. And I was just like, you know, I was able to maintain my cool. I was calm. I was like, all right. I didn't make a scene. And everybody was like, oh, you soft. Talking or whatever. I was like, it's cool. I no longer cared. I learned very early on when I was young not to really care so much about what other people thought. I learned that very young. I did things that I was comfortable with. I did things that I thought about, I pondered over. right? It's very rare that I really did impulsive things. I'm not saying it doesn't happen to me. It happens to me too. Sometimes I'm not perfect, but it's very rare that I do things that I just jump out there, jump out the window, right? So I waited it out. I let him think everything was all good. And I told him, like, yo, bro, you're going to have to get in that shower. I whispered to him. When nobody was really looking, I told him, like, yeah, it was cool. It was cute what you did in front of everybody. But you're going to have to get in that shower. And like 2-3 days later, I think he thought I forgot. 2-3 days later, when he got in the shower, I got his ass. And that's how it is. You don't got to do things for other people. You don't got to care about what other people feel. And sometimes, and I felt bad doing that to him, honestly. I felt bad putting the pause on him. I put the pause on him, and even though he disrespected, and again, this is part of the false notions of being masculine, right? I got into this like, nah, I gotta do something. I felt compelled to do something. So in one part, I was cool. I didn't make a scene. I didn't do it for other people. But deep down in my heart, it was already ingrained that he disrespected me, and I had to make it right. I had to do something. I had to. So. And even after I did it, my spirit didn't even sit well with it. So even when I watched J. Cole do that and go out there and say, like, my spirit didn't even sit right with it. And everybody was in the comment section talking about he's soft and he this and he that and he a sucker and he like all of this stuff. It's because a lot, like, it just helped me realize, yo, the black community is sick. I've been knew they were sick, but the black community is sick, bro. Like, you can't even understand the transformation that is going on. And that's how it's going to be. When you are in your transformation mode, when you are elevating, you're going to leave people behind. You're going to leave people behind, and they're going to start to talk because that's all they can do. They can't help. They can't come with you, so they'd rather keep you with them. They want to hold on to your legs when you're taking flight. They want to be dead weight. You're going to see a lot of that. You think people wasn't in my ear when I was trying to make certain moves, when I was trying to head in a different direction? You think people wasn't in my ear saying whatever they were saying? Or try to influence me to veer back into certain things? They're going to be in your ear. They're going to be in your ear. So I felt bad. I felt bad when I did what I did to this dude. And I was like, damn, you made me do that, man. But he didn't really make me do that. I felt like I had to respond because the way I've been brought up and raised. And I was like, nah, homie, you got to punish him. Even if nobody else is watching, to satisfy yourself. But even when I was looking at myself, why did I feel like I needed to do that? Because think about it. If nobody watching, nobody knows what happened. Nobody even knows I did that to him. That was just between me and him and God. And I still felt like I wasn't supposed to do that. Because in Islam, you're not supposed to transgress. Just because somebody verbally abuses you, you don't go punch him in the face and draw blood. That's a transgression. And I transgressed and I didn't feel right because he didn't put his hands on me. But a lot of men, they feel like they can't think like this. A lot of us have been disconnected from our feminine side, right? It's the masculine and the feminine. We're mainly masculine, yes, of course. But you got to be able to tap into your feminine, to be able to understand your women, to be able to have mercy on men, to be able to have compassion for children, for the elderly, for your community. You have to be able to tap into the feminine. When you are disconnected from the feminine, you are an imbalanced individual. I'm telling you, a lot of y'all gonna disagree. I don't even care. These are the facts. When you are so far removed from your feminine side, you are going to be disconnected. You're going to be an imbalanced individual. The same thing goes for our sisters. If you are a strictly feminine sister, she's going to be an imbalanced individual because there's a reason why you have a little masculinity in you. And when you work that muscle, you get to tap into it when you need to. This is why I get way more along with sisters that can tap into their masculinity a little bit. That can tap into that because it allows us to understand each other. She's able to see my points in the conversation. The women that are constantly in their feminine bag and they're constantly in the irrational side of things and they can't tap into another side to kind of like understand. And the men that can't do that either, we're strictly macho and testosterone, and we can't tap into the other side to show compassion, to kind of like have that understanding. We're going to be imbalanced individuals. So hopefully I said something beneficial. I want you brothers to remember, it's easy to attack. It's easy to be a pop-off dummy. It's easy to be reactionary. But it's way harder to show restraint. It's way harder to control yourself in moments of anger or in moments when things are not going your way. It's way harder. So I advise you to work on that muscle. I advise you that when you feel your blood rushing, when you feel your heart pumping and you feel like you're about to get like that, I advise you to breathe, man. Calm down. Sometimes you got to walk off. Take a step away. I advise you to do these things. I advise you to try to control yourself in those moments and master it. Master it. Master trying to have patience. Master these things, man. And I guarantee you, they're going to save you a lot of problems. See, I always say this. A smart dude gonna outlive a dumb motherfucker any day. Excuse my language. A smart dude is gonna outlive a pop-off dummy any day. But you gotta be smart, man. I know we deficient, man. We grew up in imbalanced homes, and you know we having to figure it out. But we have to figure it out. We have to figure it out. You can't help how you was born. You can't help in what community you was born. You can't help the conditions you was brought into. You can't help the family you was brought into. But it's on you how you go forward. It's on you where you die. Well, I'm not gonna say where you die because Allah knows and you don't really know. But it's on you how you continue to walk this life and how you continue to live and what you will be remembered for. How will the people view you? How will the people remember your legacy? That's on you, what legacy you built. So let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on this video. And if you rocking with it, make sure you share it, man. Like, come on, man. Y'all be doing a lot of weird stuff. If you like my content, share it so somebody else could benefit from it. This is not for me. I don't care if this video only get 10 views or 50 views. But I know that there's people out there that need the information given to them in a certain way. I know there's people out there that need. I know there's people out there that are in need, man. They bleeding. Do it for them, man. Do it for people that could benefit from this. So let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Y'all stay blessed and y'all remain hyper vigilant out there. Peace.